Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. It's been a little while since I've made a video, but today it was lovely and sunny and I felt that it was a nice day to come in the craft room. And what I'm going to make is something that's on the clearance or the last chance list. This isn't the box it came in, it's the advent calendar box that it all came in. And I thought it was going to be just sort of Christmas themed, but I received a beautiful card, I hope she doesn't mind me showing it, from my friend Gail, and she'd used the items in the box and I realised that it's not really a Christmas item, it's all year. So I'll show you quickly what's in here that I'm going to use. There are two stamp sets, one with all of the images and one with the sentiments, and they're a nice size. And in the box also I've just popped a little magnet sheet for the dies. So there are dies that cut out the flowers. Some you can use for sentiments. This is a little bit like those postage stamp dies we have, but I love that they're squares. So I'm going to be using those. And in the box there were just so many things. There's a glitter glue that you can make dots with, twine, these little puffy stickers that I'm not always really good with, but I'm going to try and use them. Some flat embellishments that you just need to use adhesive on. Little die cuts of leaves and flowers. Little sequin set if you want to make shaker cards or use some of the sequins in there as an embellishment. Little die cuts, labels, a stenciling set, some pre-cut and embossed little layers, pieces that are almost like the Memories and More cards, the smaller ones, that have got sentiments on some for journaling, or you could use these inside your card for writing on. Let's move that away a little bit. Also got designer series paper, and it's 6x6 paper. It's only printed on one side, and so let me just take it out and show you though. It's really pretty. There are lots of lovely designs. So there's some that are, you know, just a little plainer if you want them as a background layer. Some that you could fussy cut. I don't know if the dies fit on this, I haven't tried that yet. But because it was so pretty, I wanted to find some cards that sort of optimised how much paper I had. I didn't want to use too much on a card at all. So I was inspired by a card by Lynn Dunn at Stamptastic Designs. She is a demonstrator in the US and I love her things. So all I'm using is a 3x3 piece of designer series paper. So that means from each sheet you can get 4 cards. I've got a thick white card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. And I've got another piece of card that's embossed for the front, but I'll show you a couple of things about that in a moment. And then I've got more layers of card. I've got a piece of Misty Moonlight because that matches the blue here, and that's 3 3/4 by 3.5, and a white piece at 3.5 by 3.25. Now let's start and cut the pieces we need and make this. It comes together really quickly. Yeah, I'm just going to get my bone folder and fold that card base down. Okay. Now, you could emboss the whole front of this card. You could do a layer of tone-on-tone white. I'm going to do a layer of tone-on-tone white, but I've actually embossed the layer with the damask embossing folder. I can't just think what it's properly called, but it's the one that goes with the damask set. Okay, and I'm going to add it here like this. Now, if you didn't want to do that, but you still wanted some kind of a design, you could use your scoring tool and, you know, just put some lines across and down. You could, you know, draw a little black image, like a little rectangle on the outside, make it look really pretty. You don't have to do lots of layers. So if you're trying to save cardstock, or you don't, you just don't want many layers on it, then that would be one way to go. My glue doesn't want to work. No, so, okay, let's use our stamping seal instead. Maybe my glue will wake up in a moment. If I put it upside down in its little holder, let's see. So this, it's just got a nice little border all the way around. And it'll just give a little bit extra to look at. Okay, so I'm going to go with the DSP and we're going to cut it in 1-inch strips. It's 3 by 3. So once we've cut it, we'll have 3 little pieces that measure 3 inches long by 1 inch across. I don't think it matters which way this paper goes. I think I'm going to have it that way. And I'm just going to line it up at 1 inch and trim. 1 inch. Oops. Line it up, but I just moved it as I closed the top. That's it. Okay, so we've got 3 pieces. And they are going to go on the white layer of card that we have. So this is the layer that's 3.5 by 3 1/4. And these are going to fit over like this with a little gap in between. Okay, I'm just going to move them around a little bit so that I know they're going to fit. I like to glue on my left-hand side piece and my right-hand side piece before I do the middle, because that way I know I'm going to have enough room. Oh, come on, glue. I'm going to have enough room and it's not going to be all at one side. It's going to be nice and evenly spaced. My glue doesn't want to come out. Oh, it's going to come out lots now. It's going to be cross with me. Let's just take some of this off. Okay. There we go. So I'm just going to lift this up, make sure that it went this way, and make that nice even border. And it will be the top and the bottom and the left-hand side will all have the same distance around them. Now I'm going to do that right-hand side piece. And again, I'm going to make it so that the border is the same. I can wiggle these around a little bit if I want to with the liquid glue. So if I find that I've put one on and it doesn't quite fit, it doesn't matter. I can just move it a tiny bit. But this way you get it so that, you've got a pretty good start. Okay, and then this we're just going to put on the Misty Moonlight coloured card, which is 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. Oh, isn't that pretty with the Misty Moonlight? Love this paper already. Okay. And then this is going to go on here. If you're sending it through the post and you don't want to have lots of layers, then you can glue that flat down. I think I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. Excuse my arm. I'm going to pop it up because I know that this is going to go to a friend and I can hand deliver it. Take those backings off. I love starting a new sheet of dimensionals because I like best the edges, and I tend to use those first on my dimensional sheets. So it's always nice to start a new set. Okay, now I've got this off to the left-hand side. You could pop it in the middle, you could move it over to the right, but I want mine to be just offset to the left. And I'm going to find the labels that I want. Here are the labels. So there was this whole bag of labels. There are longer ones if you want to do this birthday wishes or big thanks, they would fit on there. I just want to do a thinking of you card. And so I've already chosen this little round one, when you get these die cuts, sometimes they have those little burrs on the edges. I just go over them with my nail. I don't like them sticking out. There we go. Okay, so, and I'm going to stamp. I was going to stamp in Misty Moonlight, but I decided to get the Secret Sea darker ink out. I've sort of stopped stamping in black as much, and I really like this Secret Sea. Oops, let's pop that back on there. And let's find the stamp that I need. Thinking of you, here it is. And you can use these stamps on the sheet to measure against the labels to see, you know, what you think fits. Oh yeah, like if you wanted to know if the big thanks fits or the birthday wishes. So I like that we can have these clear ones, see through, and you don't have to take all the pieces off, stick them on a stamping block and then see if they work. Excuse me. Okay, and because this is a new stamp, I'm just going to go over it a little bit with my thumb. And let's just see. I've got a little bit of scrap paper here. There we go. Let's stamp on here, just so we know that it's inked up nicely and it's stamping really well. Oops, I put a lot of ink on that. Oh yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to get my label that I'm using, ink that up again, and I'm just going to use the lines on it to help me straighten the stamp. Okay, that's pretty. I might stamp something on the inside of the card a little bit later, but for now that's what I'm going with. So this I'm going to have overlapping on my designer series paper and over here. So I will put dimensionals at the right hand side so that it doesn't get squashed. I did take out as well one of these little gold banners. I thought that might look nice just underneath like this. And from the little die cuts bag, from this little bag, I've taken out a bow and a little bird, and then from the little floral bag I've taken out a leaf because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted. So I'm going to just attach these together. I'm going to pop that one on with a glue dot onto the back there. Oops. I think sometimes when you get a new set, you just have to play with it a little bit and, you know, sort of find out what you think is going to work before you commit. Okay, so I like that like that. I don't know if I want to put these on or if I want to put the leaf on, so let me just have a little look. You know what, I think I'm going to put the leaf on. This is just a little bit bigger than I wanted, and I don't want to put something over the flowers. A little bird would sit on there, but then I can't see my banner. No, I think I'm going to put the little white one on. Oops. And again, I'm going to attach it with a glue dot just to the back of my label. So I'm just going to pop a little glue dot there. And let me see. Have it just like that. And then I'm going to pop a little bit of glue here. At this, that would be the left hand side. And at the right hand side, I'm going to put a dimensional so that it's level with the base. I'm going to pop it right on the banner. Just take that backing off. I'm going to just lift it up a little bit like that. There we are. And then I might actually just put a couple of the little gold resin dots on. Now, as I said, these are nice and flat, but you need to put adhesive on. There are different sizes. So here's a bigger one, you can see, and smaller ones. So you might want to have a look through and see, you know, exactly which one you want to use. I'm going to pop mine on here first and see what I want to use. I think I might pop two over here and one on the label or something. Might do a small one on the label, just like this. I've got a larger one here and then maybe a smaller one. Or let me have a look, see if I'd like it on here instead. No, I think I'm going to put them on here. I like the one on here. So I think I'm going to move them right up. Pop them up here. Yeah. So I'm going to just add a little tiny dot of glue. They look like they would fit on a glue dot, the bigger ones especially. Or just bend the little glue dot round a little bit. And I'm going to get my pokey tool just to pick them up with. Pop that on there. Oh. There. And the same here. Pop that one on there. And then the larger one, let's turn it over. And I'm going to pop that on there. There we are. And that's all I'm going to do with it, except I think I am going to take one of these and I'm going to use that for the inside, and I'm going to do my writing on here. So it saves me stamping something or, you know, having to fill up the space. You could put a little piece of designer series paper on there if you didn't want to use one of these cards though. There we are, quick and easy, and it's the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar set. I think in Canadian it's about $106 now, in the last chance section. So, but if you want to look it up, if you look up this, it comes in a large cardboard box, and it has lots of doors on, has 12 doors on. I saved some of the doors because I thought this was really pretty and it would make a great background for a card. So I've saved some. This one, I know it's got something already on it, but I thought I might be able to put like a little label. So let's just take these labels out. So yeah, I could put a little label on, cut this down and have an extra little front of a card. So I'm always looking for little money saving ideas too. I like my kits to go a little bit further, that's what it is. So there we are. That's really pretty, doesn't use much designer series paper, lots of different ways to dress it up. If you don't have this kit, you can use any designer series paper you've got. Stamp out a little label, punch out a circle, and there you go. Thanks for watching me, everybody. I hope to be back a little bit more often, and I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.